Pacing the room isn't going to make a case come any quicker, Sherlock. Why don't you look up something on the internet or watch the news? Look, here's a story on Student Newscast.
Oh, Watson, I envy you.
Envy me?
Yes, your mind, it's so placid, barely used mind. It's like an engine racing out of control, a rocket trapped on the launch pad. I need a case.
Hello? A case. Thank you. That was Detective Entity. She has a case.
Of course she does. All right. Just this once, and only to preserve my sanity. Come along, Watson.
Found him like this. No signs of forced entry and nothing suspicious. Except for the bodies, that is. Looks like
a murder, yes, I know. But who did it?
Definitely shot in the back. Couldn't have been more than a few hours ago.
Well, maybe they got into a huge argument and he snapped and killed his co-anchor.
Go up to the control room, check out the footage they shot. There might be something there. I'm gonna go check something else out quick.
Hello and welcome to Second Edition News. We begin today with an event that only happens once every 100 years.
Pi Day is always celebrated on March 14th. 3.14 is the easiest short form for the infinite number. Because it is 2015, pi takes on more numbers, making it a once-in-a-lifetime event. TELUS World of Science hosted this year's Pi Day. There were nearly 100 people in attendance at this year's event.
Oh, cool, that one's like pulsating.
It only happens every 100 years, so we can celebrate 10 digits of pi.
There was also plenty of pie on hand, including a pie catapult and blueberry pie ice cream.
St. Patrick's Day is always a great time to be with friends.
On a day focused around drinking, we took a look at the darker side of a few too many drinks.
Lots of green, some gold, and tons of beer. That's how many NAIT students spend their St. Patrick's Day. For some students, though, a day that glorifies drinking like St. Patrick's Day is just another day on the calendar. Tanner Bowman is a student who knows all too well about the dangers of binge drinking.
I was drunk. My buddy grabbed my legs and pulled me, and the one trailer was like here. I was climbing down, and the other one was here. My Winnebago had parked, and I fell off, and the ball hitch was out the back, and hit my back, my head on it.
NAIT's campus bar, The Nest, is a favorite drinking place for many students. NAIT's president Hasib Beg explains that The Nest has many precautions in place to curb binge drinking.
So from our side, we do our best to keep it as controlled as possible.
Bowman has also had friends end up in the hospital due to binge drinking episodes.
2 other guys crashed their quads, and they had to go to the hospital. So yeah.
Binge drinking has many signs. Such signs include drinking more than normal, drinking to relax, and drinking to get drunk. Students who drank during high school are at an increased risk of binge drinking during college. For now, though, the onus will remain on college students to monitor how much they drink for themselves and be responsible for the amount of alcohol they consume. For Second Edition News, I'm Tyson Dolany.
Edmonton's police department is turning over classic pages to educate kids during Fraud Prevention Month. The EPS stopped by Hardesty Elementary to read Little Red Riding Hood and other children's classes. They're teaching kids to recognize danger signs regarding strangers, specifically online.
So let's read this together, okay?
Constable Derek Inesco says the key focus is communication between parents and kids.
In this day and age, the kids are more tech savvy, I think, than their parents are. So making sure that parents have those conversations with their kids about what's going on.
Inesco says the biggest thing to watch for is generic profiles and generic questions.
The new Canadian apprenticeship loan was approved in January, but is just now allowing students to apply. This new initiative is designed to help more apprentices complete their training and encourage more Canadians to consider a career in the skilled trades. 800 of the 3,000 loans in Canada have gone to students at NAIT, making NAIT a leader in the Red Seal apprenticeship programs.
We hope that there will be 26,000 other promising young Canadians who will take out these loans to skill up for the jobs that are in high demand.
The loan is interest-free until you terminate your apprenticeship program, but instructors encourage students to take advantage of this financial boost.
It's that time of year again, the much dreaded TAT season. Luckily for NAIT students, however, they can get theirs done for free. NAIT's Accounting Club held the first 3 free clinics as part of the Canadian Revenue Agency's Volunteer Income Tax Program. The clinic helps students get their taxes done while giving some much-needed experience to the club members.
It gives students a good opportunity to get experience in tax. A lot of us don't have any accounting experience, so we can give volunteers experience, and it gives students the opportunity to get their tax returns done for free.
The remaining 2 clinics take place March 28th and April 11th. After 2 months of makeup and walk-offs, NAIT's top model competition is over. The annual contest wrapped up with one final show at the Nest, judged by a panel of industry experts. The grand prize, which includes a scholarship from Fabrique Model and Artist Management, went to first-year business student Miranda Martinek.
I can't believe it. I just won NAIT's Next Top Model.
Martinek says she's taking the scholarship while still maintaining her studies here at NAIT.
That's it for us in news. Time for Eva in sports. Eva, I heard you had a busy weekend down at West Edmonton Mall. Lots going on.
Yeah, actually there's a huge sporting event down there this weekend, and all around the city was busy, so let's get started. Attracting thousands of spectators is no easy task, but for West Edmonton Mall, it's done by replacing ice with judo mats. The Edmonton International Judo Championships were held at the mall's Ice Palace over the weekend. Competitors of all ages entered the tournament, some more experienced than others.
I like to fight with different people from different places because you kind of get to see what they've learned in difference to what you've learned, and then you can kind of learn from each other.
Aside from a few hurt egos and bruised bones, the tournament was a huge success for Judo Canada, setting a record of 732 entries. The mall's next free attraction is a CO2 drag race on March 20th. Red Bull's Crashed Ice attracts thousands to Edmonton's downtown core to watch ice cross downhill skaters compete for the World Championship trophy. After months of preparation, this track on Louise McKinney Park was completed, ready for skaters to tear up its ice. On Saturday alone, 70,000 people came to watch the races.
There wasn't enough room for all the fans that were down there. It's kind of tough. You see one corner, so you watch guys race by you for about 5 or 10 seconds, and then you're kind of hanging out for 5 minutes for the next race.
Partial road closures were in place to accommodate large street crowds throughout the night. Organizers for the event have yet to confirm whether Crashed Ice will return to Edmonton next year. The NAIT Ooks women's hockey team challenges the Red Deer Queens for the ACAC championship title in back-to-back games. Game 3 took place last Thursday at NAIT. Both teams played a strong defensive game in the first period, registering just 12 shots on net. NAIT's goalie, Jill Diachuk, steers away 7 shots, while Red Deer's Summer Roberts stops 5. The second period was pretty much consistent with the first, except for a 2-man advantage that the Queens failed to capitalize on. Then finally, the game ramps up. With 6 minutes left in the third, Jordan Tabat scores after a pass from Becky Wall, breaking Red Deer's shutout and putting NAIT up 1-0. Shortly after, the Queens had a chance to tie the game on a penalty, but no dice. Red Deer calls a timeout, pulls their goalie, and it's 6-on-5. That plan worked out because moments later, Casey Nicholson puts one past Diachuk with 58 seconds left on the clock. The Ooks won the game in double overtime thanks to a goal from Haley Vanderpool.
It's a big relief, that's for sure. It's such a team sport and everyone contributed, and it's not whoever got the goal at the end of the day. But
2 days later, the Ooks defeated the Queens 2-1 in Game 4 at Red Deer Arena, winning their third consecutive ACAC championship. For this week's three-quarter round, I'm going to dissect the ridiculous etiquette of a sport that's near and dear to my heart, badminton. All right, start the clock. First problem, and it's a big one, there's an unwritten rule that spectators are to watch quietly until the rally is over, like they do in tennis. People actually follow these rules. I know because I've been shushed before, and I think that's crazy. For so many reasons, I don't even know where to begin. Sporting events are a chance to get riled up. I go to cheer, and sometimes when I'm in a bad mood, to yell at someone. I want badminton to be more interactive between player and spectator, kind of like volleyball or, I don't know, MMA matches, where it's perfectly acceptable for fans to call things out or cheer during the match. I think we can all agree that part of what makes going to a live event worthwhile is the atmosphere and the energy of the crowd. So rather than sit around a bunch of crickets, I'll stay at home and watch the game on TV. And that's your three-quarter round.
Well, Eva, that was a pretty impressive week in sports. Awesome to see the Ooks women be able to pull it out.
Yeah, they're like machines. 3 years in a row, you can't do better than that.
Well, that's it for News and Sports on Second Edition.
What did take you so long, Watson?
Looking through all that footage isn't exactly easy, Sherlock. Why are you up here?
Thinking. I've discovered some interesting facts while you were away.
Really? What are those?
Did you know that Grand Prairie has the largest unsolved mass murder in Alberta history? 6 men were found dead in a farmhouse just outside of town. The farm, which had been sold earlier in the day, should have had over $5,000 somewhere, but none of the bodies had it. So when police investigated the house, they only found $108. Later, police noticed that blood-stained bills started popping up all over town. Eventually, they traced it to the Grand Prairie Union Bank, but no one there knew where they came from.
Well, that was actually quite interesting.
Shocking, I know.
So, can we get off this roof now?
Well, I think I'm done here. Shall we take a break? Maybe that restaurant over there.
Since when do we eat during a case?
A man of my intellect has to nourish his body sometime. And besides, I need you to host a cooking show.
Wait, Sherlock, what?
New Music Junkies, your time has come. NR92 brings you local unsigned bands. Listen daily at 12:30.
The New Music Nooner, only on NR92.com. Your music, your attitude. Choice. You can choose excitement or relaxation. Work.
All right.
Or play. Your choice can result in mistakes and successes. But the choice is always yours. Big Rock. Choose your own adventure.
Do you want to be in the know?
Catch NR92 Entertainment weekdays at 12:34.
Get entertainment highlights and info on upcoming events.
Up-to-date entertainment in 60 seconds.
NR92.
I wonder what Artie's up to. Hey, Artie! Artie! What you up to, mate?
Huh? What's Mac want? Yeah, Mac, I'm just perched here in this tree doing bird stuff.
Wanna go grab some grasshoppers there, mate? I hear they're delicious.
Are you talking about the big rock grasshopper or that gross bug?
Of course I'm talking about the big rock grasshopper. Why would I want to eat some bugs?
I don't know, mate. That's why I asked you, you wanker.
Oh, call me a wanker, will ya? I'm out of here.
Big Rock Grasshopper Wheat Ale. The early bird gets the best pint.
Hello and welcome to Cooking with Ernest. I'm Brandon Hess alongside Chef Bracilero. If you are looking for something to eat on a cold night, what would you suggest, Chef?
A beautiful cassoulet works really well. It's basically just a bean stew. It's a one pot wonder, basically.
I hear it originated in France.
Yeah, it definitely originated in France from the late 1600s or so. They used it for just because of the fact of how much time and effort they needed to put into things. This is really quick, so it goes for a long period of time.
Why do you pick certain vegetables?
Carrots, celery, onion are great aromatics, so we usually use those in the start of everything we ever do. So we'll cut them roughly the same size, just so they can cook at the same time. And since we have a lot of the product that we do have right now is pre-done, so we got canned beans, duck confit that's been already cooked.
Why are you using canned beans?
Just for time effort. Regular dried beans take about an hour and a half to cook. So this way we just save ourselves a little time. So now we're just gonna cut our onions and we're gonna throw those in the pot. And then we'll saute it off in some duck fat for just the basic reason it's delicious. So we'll start by throwing the duck fat. Mind you, you don't have to use duck fat. You can use oil, butter, whatever you really want. We're just adding it just because it tastes really good.
I noticed you have some garlic in there.
Yeah, we do have some garlic. Another great aromatic. We usually just put it towards the end of it, just so it doesn't burn. And all we're doing with the vegetables is we're sweating them off. We're not adding any color whatsoever. So we're gonna season with some salt, pepper, some thyme and bay leaf, just to add some nice flavor. And once that starts to sweat a bit, we can add our cooked duck and also our beans.
In general, how long does it take to cook this whole thing?
This dish should take about 45 minutes from start to scratch. So basically, right now that we have all that stuff in there, we're gonna throw our stock, let it boil for about 30 more minutes, and then your food's ready to go, basically. We're just melting all the different flavors that are in there together by boiling it off. So yeah.
That looks good. Thanks for joining us. If you would like to learn more about this recipe, head to natenewswatch.ca and click on the second edition tab. Thanks for joining us, and thank you, Chef.
Aren't you supposed to be doing some detective work? Detective?
Well, it would be if you weren't so bloody good at it. So while you work, I'm gonna sit here, relax, and watch this viral video.
What could possibly be more entertaining than this case?
This. See, Sherlock, this is what you need to do. You gotta stop dangling people off buildings.
It was one time.
Do you like school?
Yeah.
Do you like school?
No.
No. What courses do you like?
Math. No one likes math. He's lying.
What's 8 plus 8?
I like math.
16.
Have you ever peed in the swimming pool? A little bit? More history?
See, he has a truth fairy. I could be your truth fairy, Sherlock.
Men of my intellect don't believe in truth fairies. But you can. Ah, Watson.
I know who the killer is.
Of course you do. Let's go catch us a killer, Watson.
Well, it's about time, you two. I've been waiting for hours.
If you wanted my attention, James Moriarty, you could have just called.
Instead of murdering innocents.
Well, what's the fun in that? Besides, I've got to get something off my chest about your movie. Well, here we are at last. Our movie review of Sherlock Holmes shall be masterful, not unlike myself.
Moriarty, could you be any more full of yourself?
Be careful, miss. Things will get nasty, and I don't like to get my hands dirty. Roll the clip!
I have a request. Someone I want to see. Sherlock Holmes. Mr. Holmes, you must widen your gaze. You underestimate the gravity of coming events. Tomorrow, at midday, the world as you know it will end. Well, there isn't any time to waste then, is there?
Based on the classic created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, legendary detective Sherlock Holmes, played by Robert Downey Jr., and his faithful sidekick Dr. Watson, played by Jude Law, capture one of London's most notorious killers, Lord Blackwood. After Blackwood's arrest, he threatens Sherlock of unforeseen danger in the near future. Blackwood is sentenced to death and hung, but then mysteriously rises from the grave. Working together with Watson and Irene Adler, a mysterious woman from Sherlock's past, Holmes must find and stop Lord Blackwood before he kills again.
This action-packed murder mystery throws more than a few punches and will leave you hanging off the edge of your seat. Downey Jr. is absolutely irresistible as Holmes, with the charm and wit to make an audience fall in love with his lazy genius.
Holmes, does your depravity know no bounds?
No.
I found the movie to be ordinary, just like Sherlock Holmes himself. Like, everything had to be clever.
I have to disagree. I found Sherlock Holmes to be dreamy. He's a splendid actor and really clever. 4 pipes out of 5.
I must disagree with your lust. 2 pipes out of 5.
You're just jealous. You're not as clever as he is.
As if. I'm always a step ahead. What's in store from the great Sherlock Holmes?
Freeze!
What took you so long?
Just wanted to make you sweat a little bit.
Well, that was fun.
Another day, case closed.
Guess it's time to find another one.